Hey, what's going on, boys and girls? It's Wednesday. It's SEC Media Days. Today, the big coach was on the stage at SEC Media Days. I guess they're calling it the SEC Kickoff or some shit like that now. It will always be SEC Media Days to me, and probably a lot of you too. But yeah, the big guy was in town, the one that everyone was expecting, and of course I'm speaking of Jeremy Pruitt. But first, I want to talk just a little bit about another coach that was down there on the podium today and talked a little bit. This guy named Nick Saban coaches this ugly-ass crimson-colored football team down in Alabama. Tuscaloosa, I believe, is the name of the town they're from. And they've managed to somehow squeak out a few wins in the last several years, and they're probably going to be okay this year. I'm going to predict that they win 3 or 4 games this year. And their coach, he said "I" a lot today. This Nick Saban guy did. Now, I didn't see the actual part where he was on the podium addressing the entire media. I just saw his little interview with Damian Harris, Marcus Spears, and of course Paul Feinbaum. And it was like an "I" fest. I've either never heard him do that or just never realized it. That's a Jeremy Pruitt thing, okay? Jeremy Pruitt, he's the "I" guy in this conversation. From the day he got to Tennessee and stepped up on the podium and was introduced as head coach at Tennessee, it's like every other word was "I." And today, I have not heard Jeremy Pruitt say "I" one time. You guys tell me, and I'm not even joking or being funny about this. Seriously, you go back and watch Jeremy Pruitt talk today. You go back and find this Paul Feinbaum interview. Like I said, I missed Nick Saban being on the podium, so I don't know what he did there. But talking to Feinbaum, Damian Harris, and Marcus Spears, it's like every other sentence or word he's throwing in "I." And the thing that was even more odd than that, dude was smiling. I said it. Nick Saban was smiling. And he's funny because I've never really paid attention to Nick when he smiles because he doesn't do it very often. But when he smiles, I swear to the big guy, he looks like Gomer Pyle. He does. He's got that big toothy smile, which I personally am a little bit jealous of for obvious reasons. But seriously, man, the dude looks like Gomer Pyle. Go watch it. I'm not just feeding you this shit to be funny. I'm being totally serious. I. But anyway, it was actually fun watching Nick Saban do that interview. It really was. He was asked a lot of... enough about the second tier coach. Let's get back to Jeremy Pruitt, who is enjoying his first day at SEC Media Days and his first year at SEC Media Days as a head coach. And he handled the media well today. And as I listened to these questions, I was like, man, you got to be shitting me what some of these dudes were asking. One guy asked about, and I knew I would do this. I knew as soon as I got on camera I would forget the guy's name. He asked about a player in Alabama, how that guy was doing. And you could see Pruitt's reaction. First of all, he said, "Who are we talking about?" Something like that. And then some other guy told him who the question was about, and he goes, "Oh, okay." And he said, "Yeah, the kid's good. He's going to be good. Wish he was on our team." With that look on his face like, "Hey, dipshit, I'm not at Alabama anymore. I'm at Tennessee. How about asking about one of the 3 kids that are here today from Tennessee? Eli Wolf, Kyle Phillips, and Marquez Callaway." Haven't heard any of their interviews today. I'll go in there and check that out here briefly. But a good job today by Jeremy Pruitt. And the crowd, the media crowd today was dead. I mean, it just, I don't know. It was a different feel at SEC Media Days today than I've seen in many years. I don't know if it's because they're in Atlanta at the Mercedes Dome, and it's a bigger, bigger place. Whereas at Hoover, everything seemed to be a little bit more intimate and closer, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just imagining things. But yeah, Jeremy Pruitt, first-year coach at Tennessee. Nobody of the guys I heard today on ESPN and on the SEC Network talk about Tennessee, including Greg McElroy. I was just starting to like that guy as an announcer, but today I got back to can't standing him. Not because of what he was saying about Tennessee, but how he was saying it. The guy just chaps my ass. But yeah, all the announcers were saying it's going to be a brutal year pretty much for Tennessee. 6 or 7 wins would be fantastic. Great, it's a miracle. Blah. Like there's pretty much no way in hell Tennessee can win 6 or 7 games this year. That's the way it looked to me. Oh, y'all see that dude back there? Look at that. Where's he at? There's his nose. There's his mouth. There's his chin. There's his horns. And there's his hand. Oh, my good Lord, that's the devil. That's the devil. Holy crap. Look at that. Nose, horn, mouth, chin with the little goatee. Wow, that's a sign. That's some kind of sign. I don't know if it's good or bad. So I'm just going to end the video right here, right now, and say, go Vols, screw y'alls. Jeremy Pruitt's in the house. Remember, no ites today from Jeremy, but a pile of them from Nick Saban. Oh, and Catfish. I know you watch the videos all the way to the end. Here's one for you. I think you'll agree with this one. And I forgot it. Son of a biscuit. Daggone it. I'm going to keep blathering until I remember it. Tickled to death. What the hell is that? Tickled to death?